Hello. It is Q&A time. Actually, it's just A time because the Q's are all down here on a little sheet of paper that I printed out after the last Supernatural Social. The Supernatural Social is the gathering that we had a couple of weeks ago online where I talked about herbs for a little bit and then you asked me lots of questions. And I answered as many as I could in 45 minutes or so, and there are lots more. So I wanted to answer some of them now, and I'll answer more of them in the future. And we have another Supernatural Social next week, so you can join that if you have questions. We'll talk a little bit more about food in that one, but herbs and food, you know me, they're all one and the same. Also, I have a little bit of construction happening outside, so hopefully it's not distracting. So let's get to it. First question is, what are the best herbs to beat a bloated stomach? And we had this question, and we also had a question about heartburn. So since quarantine, I've started experiencing very unusual heartburn despite no change in my diet. What herbs do you recommend? And both of these questions exemplify types of questions that I get a lot in a couple of ways. One, they're about gut health, right? So heartburn, gas and bloating, you know, all the different sort of parts of the process that can go wrong or that can go right. That's one type of question I get a lot of the time. And then the other one is, what is the herb for the thing? What is the herb for my symptom? And part of what we do when we work together, or when you come to one of my events, or when you're here hanging out with me, is we say, okay, so we can treat the symptom with herbs, right? But it's just a Band-Aid. So sometimes we need a Band-Aid, but we also have to fix the cause. You know that. We're going for the cause. So heartburn, herbs for heartburn. We would look at demulcents and mucilants, so slippery, slimy, cooling, soothing herbs that are going to help coat the mucous membranes, calm inflammation, hydrate this whole, this whole section here and below, but especially this whole section, and know that that's the Band-Aid. And then we're going to say, heartburn started with quarantine, maybe stress related. So let's try some stress reduction tactics and herbs for stress reduction too, if you like. So that would be more meditation or mindfulness, more movement, earlier bedtime, maybe taking a break from screens, breath work, playing with your kids, dancing, playing with your pets, playing with your plants, whatever your stress release tactic is, and then herbs for stress reduction, and see how that does with rectifying the heartburn, given that there was no change in the diet. If there was a change in the diet, or even if there wasn't, I would always, check out the diet too, but I'll leave that one aside for now. And same with gas and bloating. So look at the cause, right? Lots of things could help with gas and bloating. We can take, gentle laxatives. Rose petal tea is a really effective laxative. Lots of fiber and lots of water is a really effective laxative. High doses of magnesium are an effective laxative. Lots of other herbs will help move things through. But we don't want to be dependent on that, right? Our body has a process that we want to be working ideally. So for gas and bloating, which is very, very common in the work that I do, we're working on that. We want to go to gut health. And we want to go all the way through the gut health processes. I'm not going to do all that right now, but I will definitely get into that in the next Supernatural Social. Actually, that's one of the big topics we're going to cover, because I've gotten a lot of questions about psyllium husk, gut health, prebiotics, food related to that. So every one of you that's asked me in DMs or other places about that kind of category of questions, I hear you. We're getting into it in the next event. We are also, and I'm skipping to the end a little bit, we're also going to talk about seasonal allergies. So lots of questions about seasonal allergies right now. Perfect example of, we have herbs for that. So I'll give you one now. Nettle leaf, favorite. He's my buddy. He's like over here. You can't see him, but whole bunch of nettle leaf for natural histamine reduction. But that's a Band-Aid. So we know the cause. Okay, the cause of this one, you're like, yeah, it's the environment. Like, how am I supposed to rectify that? Well, we're having an overreactive response to an environmental trigger in a lot of cases, and we can reduce the severity of that response with a few sort of health practices. So check it out. Gut health is often directly linked to the severity of seasonal allergies. So once again, going into gut health, and I don't mean to harp on that, but I do, because it's so central to so many of our body systems. So we can look at that, and then we can look at some other things. So that'll be in the next Super Social. Another question from the last one that I didn't get to answer: favorite herbs for migraines. So for migraines, I tend to, and we do this blend at Supernatural. I'm sorry, it's not really available right now because I don't have all my herbs, but white willow bark comes from the tree that aspirin's made from. That taken regularly for, long periods of time has been shown to help prevent migraines. So that's one to check out. Lavender, super common for migraine support, treating it when you have them or helping to prevent them. I have personal success with St. John's wort, which is it's a strong nervine and kind of a tranquilizer. So I'm very curious about herbs for nerves and migraines. It's going to depend too on, once again, where's the migraine coming from? Is it stress induced? Is it hormone balance related? Is it structural? Like, I get a lot of structural stuff with my head, my back, and my neck. I'm constantly like jumping around and doing weird workout stuff and like tweaking muscles, and that gives me headaches. So I know, like, okay, this is coming from a pinched nerve or pinched muscle or restricted blood flow, which brings me to the next category of herbs that I really like for treating headaches and migraines, and that is caffeine or herbs that contain theobromine, which is an alkaloid that acts on the central nervous system similarly to caffeine. So you find that in cacao. You find that in, you don't find it in yerba mate, but yerba mate is a nice source of like mellow caffeine. You find it in another herb I was just talking about recently. I'll have to check out where else to get it. But theobromine, or gentle doses of caffeine. So green tea, yerba, Yopon, which is a cool regional, if you're in North America, that's a regional source of caffeine, things like that. And then also check out a low histamine diet. So this comes back to histamines and the histamine response in the body, which is a natural response to aggravants in the environment, and we need it to be active. But lots of people with chronic migraines benefit from a low histamine diet. And actually, if you have really bad seasonal allergies, you might want to check out a low histamine diet as well. And if you're interested in hormone balance, hang tight, because I have a new Supernatural series module on hormone balance, and it's so dense. It's about an hour, and it's going to take you through it all. So that is coming soon, promise. Another question from the last social. You mentioned lavender as a better alternative to CBD for stress and anxiety relief. How do you recommend consuming it, and where do you purchase it? So I'm a big fan of lavender. I like CBD. I like cannabis. It has its place, but I find that for stress and anxiety relief, or for people who can't tolerate much CBD or cannabis, lavender is an awesome alternative. It's what I use. I use CBD for muscle and like physical relief more than nervous system relief. And lavender you can use as an essential oil. You can drink it as a tea. You can take it in capsules. You can use it as a spray in your house or in your room. You can eat it in anything, baked goods, that kind of thing. So get some lavender in your life. And the last question is about skin and skincare. And today my glow is coming to you from the morning sunshine, but also from all the stuff that I eat and take, let's be honest, and use. So I'm going to do a skincare event, just totally dedicated to skin. You can all come. and I'll announce it soon. It'll be in the next like 3 weeks or so. I hear you. I know you want to know the ins and outs of that, and I'll give you everything. I might even make it like extra long. So that's coming up. So thank you for everyone who joined the last Supernatural Social. Obviously, I would love if you come to the next one. If you can't make the next one, there's a recording of it that we'll send out. Just get a ticket. Everyone gets it. And I'll keep answering your questions. Keep them coming. Feel free to let me know more. What do you want to talk about? This is fun. This is why I'm here. Let me know. And I'll see you soon.